Welcome back to Play and Trade Guitars. I'm John, that's Zach behind the camera, and this is Play and Trade Guitars, where we play it and trade it. Today, I'm going to revisit one of my absolute favorite guitars in production from Gibson. If you've watched our demos before, you know that I am absolutely a huge fan of the Gibson SG Standard 61. The 61 SG is really just a beautiful guitar. I love the sound of the pickups. Just a great guitar. You can watch that review, but today we're revisiting it to check out the new custom color collection. I've got one in Silver Mist today, and it's also available in a total of 6 colors, so you can check that out using our link. You can see all the custom colors, and I'll put those on screen too. But at the top, if you're in the market for any gear like the SG61 from Gibson, click to buy any new gear using our link. It really does help us make these demos, and we appreciate it, so thank you. We're also giving away a Martin D28 when we hit 100,000 subscribers. To be in it to win it, just hit subscribe now, turn on notifications, and enter via Gleam. That entry link is in the description or pinned in the comments. All right, I'm pumped about this one. Let's check out the Gibson SG61. All right, so check this out. The SG61 actually represents the point in Gibson history where this was still the Les Paul. They did a radical redesign of the Les Paul. So in 1961, you would have found a guitar like this, small guard, super high access to the 22nd fret, double cutaways, Florentine horns, the whole thing, a total redesign of the Les Paul, which would go on to become the SG as we know it. The difference between the SG61 and the SG Standard currently in production today, you're going to have a slimmer, SlimTaper neck on the 61 SG. You'll have the 60s Burstbuckers and the small guard, which I love the look of the small guard, especially in accentuating these new custom colors in the collection. It looks fantastic. The SG Standard is a little bit cheaper, and that's going to have a what I call a medium profile neck. So if you want an SG with a slightly thicker neck, check out the SG Standard. This one is just an easy to play, beautiful guitar, full gloss nitro finish, beautiful piece of rosewood on this guitar, and just the classic 61 SG or SG Les Paul, if you will, in some new really cool colors. I'm a sucker for metallic kind of single color finishes, and I just thought they did a beautiful job on this one. So let's go ahead and take it apart on the bench. We'll get some full specs before we plug it in. But yeah, this is a beauty, and like I said, the SG Standard 61 is really one of my absolute favorite guitars from Gibson these days. So let's head to the bench. All right, Gibson USA, made in Nashville, Tennessee. Beautiful mother of pearl Gibson and crown logo on the front of the black nitro gloss headstock. You got these beautiful Kluson style Gibson Deluxe tuners. I love those, my favorite look for a Gibson style tuner. And then you got the SlimTaper neck, gloss finish across the whole guitar, and characteristics of an SG, you're going to have a slimmer mahogany body, no maple cap like a Les Paul, and then you're going to have the neck joint meet the body all the way up at the 22nd fret. So you have totally unencumbered access, of course, all the way up to the highest registers, and a double cutaway, probably in a time when they were competing with the likes of the Fender Strat, and this was Gibson's answer in the redesign of the Les Paul. Today, the SG Standard 61 has a lot of the same cosmetic features, so you're going to have the small guard, which is my favorite personal look on the SG. You can comment below and tell me if you like the small guard or the larger batwing, larger guard that you'd see like on the Standard. Great set of pickups. These 60s Burstbuckers are my favorite Burstbuckers. Standard controls, volume, volume, tone, tone, 3-way toggle switch. Just a beautiful guitar. Flip it over one more time just to give you a look at that metallic finish. This one's Silver Mist. So let's get the strings out of the way and we'll get some measurements. We got the nut here at 1.7 inches, first fret at 0.78 inches, up to a 12th fret of 0.9 inches. Body thickness, 1.33 inches on a mahogany body. An interesting difference between the Les Paul and the SG. On the SG, the humbuckers are actually a little bit more scrunched, meaning that the bridge pickup is actually a little bit tilted forward. So you got 3.5 inches from the top of your neck pickup to the top of the bridge, whereas on a Les Paul, you would have 4.25 inches from the top of your neck pickup down to the bridge pickup. So that spacing has a little bit of characteristic tone difference as well. Flipping over the humbuckers, you have a lead 61 in bridge position and the rhythm 61 in neck position. Lately, Gibson has just been calling these 60s humbuckers or 60s Burstbuckers. You also have the long neck tenon in SG always because the neck meeting the body all the way to the 22nd fret, you always need that little bit of extra reinforcement for that connection. Flipping on the multimeter, we'll get a reading on the pickups. We're at 7.6 in bridge, 7.5 in neck, 3.7 combined. Let's lift up the control cavity cover and take a look at the electronics. You got orange drop capacitors, Gibson 500K CTS pots, and that SG style toggle switch. Obvious benefit of a thin mahogany body is that you have a lot less weight on an SG compared to a Les Paul. This one comes in right at 7 pounds. All right, let's flip it around for an initial reaction. SGs to me are always so resonant. This one sounds nice. Definitely a slim neck. And it's got almost this kind of slim wide feel going on, which is kind of characteristic of 61s as well. So kind of slim, kind of wide, super accessible all the way up the fretboard. Everything from the factory is great. These are also plecked at the factory, so you have plecked frets on here, super accurate fretwork. So everything feels good. Remember, if you're in the market for this guitar or any other gear, it helps us out when you click to buy new gear using our link, so thanks for doing that. This is the best part though. We're gonna plug it in, I'll show you clean tones, I'll dirty it up, and then of course we'll put it behind a track and let it sing. On the other side of that, stay with me because I'll give you my honest reaction to playing this iteration of the SG Standard 61, and we'll give it a final score. So let's plug it in and get to work. That was a good one, yeah. That's pretty good. All right, cool. Yeah, these are good guitars. You know, it makes me laugh because, you know, I have a performance demo at the end of every demo for every guitar that we cover. And sometimes it takes me a few takes. Sometimes a guitar, you know, it's not as agreeable. It wants to fight me a little bit. This guitar, every time I come back to it, you know, this was just one take. Zach and I looked at each other and said, you know what? Yeah, that'll work. Because it just plays itself. And there's something about the airy resonance of an SG. These pickups in particular, these 61 Burstbuckers are my favorite Burstbuckers. The guitar is perfectly balanced. That's another question a lot of people ask. Does it have neck dive? I'll tell you, I don't think I've ever experienced an SG with real neck dive. I'm standing here, we don't experience it. It's just really not an issue. This one certainly has no neck dive at all. The neck is slim. I'm actually somebody who doesn't always love a SlimTaper neck. However, on this particular style of guitar, because you have access all the way up the fretboard and just the way this guitar feels and plays, it feels fantastic. So let's talk score. I give a guitar a score based on 3 main categories: overall playability, overall sound, and overall value. Starting with playability, you got a full gloss finish. It's not sticky, it's smooth, it's delightful. It's awesome in the hands. It feels really good while you're playing it. Beautiful piece of rosewood on this guitar. 22 frets. The big standout with playability on an SG, of course, is that you have that unencumbered access all the way up. 22 frets here, double cutaways, so super playable guitar. I like that it's just straightforward controls: volume, volume, tone, tone, 3-way toggle. All that's great. I have no issues whatsoever in playability. I guess, you know, again, I can't really find any fault with it, so we'll go ahead and give it, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 9.4 in playability. Oh, let's add in there the fact that it's only 7 pounds. If you want a guitar that's you 7 pounds, or sometimes you can find SGs well under 7 pounds, it's the way to go if you want a lightweight guitar. Well balanced, lightweight, easy to play, and plenty of access all the way up that fretboard. All right, that's playability. Let's talk about sounds. Again, these are my favorite Burstbuckers. There's an airy singing quality to an SG already, but then when you throw in these 61 Burstbuckers, I just love what they can do, not only with a cleaner tone, but when you dirty it up either with like a tube screamer like you heard for standard kind of overdrive, or if I push it with like a big muff fuzz, these pickups will respond in a singing quality to anything that you can throw at them. And I love the sound. This guitar is the benchmark for me when it comes to current production Gibson. This is my favorite Gibson USA guitar in production currently. I'll go ahead and peg it at a 9.5 on sound. I love how it sounds. And then overall value, you know, a lot of guitars have gone up in price these days. This one has not, even though they have the new colors. It's still at $19.99. It does include a hard shell case. It's made in Nashville. It's plecked frets. It's all the things that you expect out of a Gibson USA model. And they've maintained the price at $19.99 with the hard shell case. And that's well under the price of a Les Paul because less goes into it, right? There's less materials. It's a little bit simpler of a build. So all that to say, you know, are there cheaper guitars out there? Yeah, there's cheaper guitars out there. But to me, even comparing it to like the Gibson SG Standard at $17.99, that's not going to come with a hard shell case. It has different humbuckers in it. It's got a different neck profile too. This just ticks every box to me in terms of playability and sound. Value at $2,000, we'll go ahead and give that a 9.0 for value. It's going to bring the overall score for the SG Standard 61, this one in the beautiful silver mist. It's going to bring it to a 9.3 overall. Fantastic guitar. Revisiting it, probably it's been maybe about a year, Zach and I were talking about, since we did this guitar last time, that one in cherry. And it just does not let me down. It never disappoints. It's just a perfect guitar. Hats off to Gibson for making this beautiful SG and nailing it. I like the addition of the new colors. Drop a comment and let me know what you think. And remember, if you're in the market for this guitar, I highly recommend this one. Click to buy using our link. Thanks for doing that. You'll get fast free shipping and easy payment plans in the States. And if you're in Europe, you can also use our Thomann link down in the description to buy gear as well. All right, thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Remember, we're giving away a Martin D28 acoustic guitar when we hit 100,000 subscribers. So do us a favor, hit subscribe now, turn on notifications, and enter to win via Gleam. All that info is in the description or pinned in the comments. Check out our gear link. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for hanging out. For Play and Trade Guitars, I'm John. That's Zach behind the camera. See you next time.